video with my phone, so it's in full beautiful 4K at 60 frames a second, and you're looking at about a 1935 model 63 Stromberg Carlson AM shortwave radio. Cabinet's in rather nice shape. It's just got a few scratches, got a few dings. It's been dinged up here and there. It's got some, I got some wood finish I can put over that. And the tuning meter, tune for greatest swing. So of course it swings that way. The stronger the station is falling off. It's kind of all crooked in there now. I threw it back here. There it is. There's a little arrow. This is the second take I'm doing in this video. I think I said in the first take that this was a coil wrapped magnet. It's not a magnet, it's just a little piece of plastic wrapped with coil, and it's got the little arrow on there. I should get a different jacket. It is getting a bit colder. It was beautiful out all day, and it's getting a bit later now. Getting close to sunset. You can't really see from where I'm standing. There goes the airplane, right as I'm filming. You know, it seems like everything's quiet until I get the camera out, and then everything just starts getting noisy. Long story short, this thing is totally dead. The rectifier blew. My grandmother, who I've always been very close with, she's now in what's known as a retirement home around here, but it's also a long-term care facility. She's got dementia, and after my step-grandfather passed away, they moved away from the acreage where this was kept, and with all the leftover stuff at the new place that she moved in when she sized down, we were gonna have an estate sale with it. Well, we had the opportunity to take some of the stuff we wanted to before they had the estate sale, and I took all the rest of the old radios. And there's an old waffle maker I can show you and stuff like that. I took all the vintage things I wanted before they had the estate sale at the place. And some of the vinyl I left that I should have taken. I didn't get the opportunity to take the vinyl, unfortunately. And there was a big, my step-grandfather made a big thing on a piece of 2x4 wood and had a bunch of old tubes, sized from smallest to biggest. It was kind of a cool display thing. I thought I could have put above the workbench or something there when I start doing live streams for the background or whatever. But yeah, what did I say, 1935? I found the service information that's inside. I gotta go grab that, and I'll grab a warmer jacket. It's starting to get a bit breezy. You see a few of the labels were ripped off that were there before. There you go, Stromberg Carlson Telephone Company. I think that's where they started, was telephone. I have at the acreage also that I wish I got before the estate sale. I don't know if it was left there or not. A vintage telephone. I don't know if it was a Stromberg Carlson, but I found a few pictures of a model from a flyer or a catalog and some actual pictures that look pretty similar to the one. A lot of these older ones look the same. It's like the old pre-World War or World War, it's like one of the phones that would be underneath in a mine, in some sort of mine tunnel or something. You know, they would have the phone set up. There's a label on the speakers. Pretty good speakers. Once we get this thing working, we should be driving some pretty good audio out of this. There's the audio output transformer. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Chassis number. Okay, so that makes sense why it was model number 63. I couldn't figure it out before, but chassis number 63052. So it starts with 63. There's all the ratings. AC volts 105 to 125 volts, 60 cycles, maximum 100 watts. There's the tube layout. So it's got a 6A6 oscillator, 6K7 RF amp, IF amp is a 6K7, and the AF amp is a 6K7. Got a 6H6, and it's got two 6F6 outputs, and that's the rectifier that blew, the 5Z3 rectifier. And it's got a couple. I got the one 6F6, which is a replacement. I think I got another 6F6 I can put in there. There's your tuning capacitor, your oscillator tubes. There's a 6H6. the guy down there. If this would focus. So once we get this working, we should be able to listen to some good shortwave through this speaker and get our blast our brother stair through the brother RG stair across the neighborhood. Trying to get some sunset action. Alright, well, here's the service information that I got online. It's just a PDF file and I printed it off. So you can see that looks pretty close. And it is the Model 63. And there's again, there's the tuning capacitor. This is all gears, there's no tuning. There's no dial string. It's missing a light bulb behind the tuning indicator. That's where the magnet or whatever would have sat in there. There's the this is just a separate piece. This piece here, and then in the wind here. This was the actual Stromberg Carlson one made by John and F. Ryder, publisher. Little specs. Got the schematic. You almost kind of need a magnifying glass for this one. All the values and stuff are hard to read of the capacitors and stuff. If I zoom in, I can see that it says 4 microfarads, 15 volts. C15. I could be reading that wrong. And so there's a schematic. And here's a view of the chassis. Okay, you can see all these ones that say made in Canada. This came from, a lot of these were from what I saw on radiomuseum.com or whatever you want to call it. Suggested that these are made in a manufacturing plant in Rochester, New York. That's where a lot of those RCA radiolas were made. This one was made in Toronto, Ontario. I think this is part of the audio out. It's part of this, or whatever this. I think this is part of the. I'm not sure what this is part of, actually. Somebody can let me know what that is. And somebody was in here before me, you could see. Replaced a couple of capacitors. For 450 volts at 10 microfarads. Gloria. Somebody just bunched these together and soldered them onto these resistors. And I don't know, I'm gonna say that they probably should have replaced them all these leaky looking wax caps instead of just leaving them. Here's I think this is the tube here that was in there. Here's one of the capacitors that was in it. You can see it's bulging up the other side. It's pretty deformed on But obviously, it definitely needs to go. This was the... Was this the 5Z3 I took out of there? It was one of these. Here's the award-winning electrical work that someone did on the plug. Top-notch electrical work, just award-winning right there. Something happened to the prongs, it just got all bent up. And somebody left that off in the end. Possibly the old plug, they just left it on, didn't get rid of it. So we fixed that up. And there's the antenna connections. I think it labels down here the antenna connections. Use of same antenna with ground connections for both high and low frequency ranges. So yeah, I do have a spot for this, a home for this once I get it working again. And I do have the missing tuning knob, however, it doesn't go on there properly. It's not the original one.
De la conducta de toda persona que decida promover o detener.
Los Estados Unidos el día 5
de la Champions League se va a efectuar el día de San José.
Felicidades.
Está entre los mejores 8 clubes de la Champions League.
No olviden que pueden contactar con nosotros en el correo radio@aer.org.es así como en nuestra web aer.org.es y nuestros perfiles en las redes sociales de Facebook.
Y bueno, eso no está todo. Es una irresponsabilidad. El segundo es lo que veo en familiar.
We built a temple. Took something like 40-some years, I think it was, to do it. And it was a magnificent temple. It's not there anymore because
Esta visa se la prometía a mucha gente en Cuba, especialmente a
Jews had much gold and wealth hidden in the walls, so they tore down the walls. And there was not left one stone of the wall that was not thrown down. It was
During the years, it transmitted, levels of speed. And another, I think it was all in Spanish, wasn't it?
Yeah, only Spanish, about 8 weeks. They used to work 24 hours, but after...
Takes a lot of money to keep the station going, and all those big tubes and everything. How long have you been in the U.S.?
I came here around almost 3 years ago.
At the tone, 0 hours, 43 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Los hijos han salido, yo he pongo la mascarita porque no ya está en la casa.
¿Verdad? Bueno, aquí todo el mundo tiene que estar con máscara. Cuando viene alguien en mi casa.
Right, here's a GE, no idea the year, of Waffle iron. Hard to, there we go. General Electric, 120 volts, 12,000 watts. Bridgeport, Connecticut, made in USA. This also came from something we grabbed before the estate sale happened. It needs good cleaning. It's got all sorts of oil and crap around the outside. I don't know if this thing was ever cleaned after each use or what. But, there's that. I think these lift up and you can clean underneath the, look underneath the elements. We'll do a separate video on that, on this. I think I got some buttermilk, Aunt Jemima. That's something that's going, won't be on the shelves anymore. I don't think there's a recipe for, there's a recipe on the back of here. So, oh, here it is for waffles, buttermilk waffles. So I'm no cooker or anything. I've made the pancakes not from scratch, but from the box here before. I don't know what's a banana rollout. Yeah, we'll see if we can do that in a separate video. We'll clean this thing off and see whether this thing works. I think that's like a power indication light or something when you plug it in. And I think GE made this same chassis and everything, same model, but it's identical. But it's a pancake griddle. It's a pancake griddle. I have a pancake griddle. It's newer, but it's not the same one. I've seen this same model before, but it's a pancake griddle. There's the tool starting to wear off. High, low, medium, and high. Or sorry, off, low, medium, and high. Looks like someone put a new plug on the end of it. So I don't see any power indication light. Oh, there we go. You can hear the element. Got our infrared gun on it. What is that on? I think we're on high. So the thing works. I feel it getting warm. Anyways, so that's that.
Here's a beautiful gift. The new Westinghouse Grill and Waffler. It toasts, fries, grills, and bakes. For instance, look, 12 juicy hamburgers all cooked at once. Or use these grids for the tastiest waffles ever. Only $29.95 at your Westinghouse dealers.
Brought to you tonight by Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima pancakes without Aunt Jemima syrup? Ridiculous.
Aunt Jemima pancakes without her syrup is like the spring without the fall. There's only one thing worse in this universe. That's no Aunt Jemima's at all.
Aunt Jemima's without Aunt Jemima syrup?
That's ridiculous.